Ago today, a woman's life was changed forever in the blink of an eye. Sharon Budd and her family were traveling on Interstate 80 through Union County when someone threw a rock from an overpass. It shattered her windshield and critically injured her. Now, 13 surgeries later, she lives in an assisted living home. Newswatch 16's Nikki Krize caught up with Sharon and her family 10 years later.
When James and Joey Budd want to visit their mom, they come here to the Inn at Belden Village in Ohio.
It's my sons, James and Joey. I'll put my hands flat. Get over here. Oh, God.
Visiting their mom Sharon at an assisted living facility where their dad Randy's ashes sit on a shelf is not where the Budds saw their lives 10 years ago.
When your moments of happiness are all gripped with a weird sorrow, it's a very hard thing to try to put into words.
July 10, 2014 was the day the Budd family's lives changed forever. Sharon, her husband Randy, and their daughter Kaylee, who was 19 at the time, were on their way to New York City to see a Broadway show. They were driving on Interstate 80 East in Union County as they approached the Gray Hill Road overpass. Someone threw a rock from the overpass, shattering the windshield, leaving Sharon critically injured.
My dad had actually called me and told me that we should head out to Pennsylvania to say goodbye before my mom passed away.
Sharon's oldest son Luke was about to be deployed to Afghanistan, but he and his brothers Joey and James and Sharon's parents rushed to the Danville area to be by her side.
Pretty big shift from hanging out with your friends and then, you know, the worst possible news.
Sharon Budd had 13 surgeries, 9 in the first 3.5 months. Doctors removed a section of her brain, her right eye, and part of her face. Sharon does not remember what happened to her.
I don't. I have little splashes of what happened, but not even 1 minute long.
Recently, Newswatch 16 spent 2 days with Sharon and her family at her assisted living facility in Canton, Ohio. Sharon has been here a little over a year and says she likes it here.
Plenty of medical staff, good food. What more could you want?
She spends most of her time reading.
And I love watching reruns on the television.
What's your favorite show?
Hawaii Five-0.
For the most part, Sharon is upbeat and happy, except when it's time to take her medicine.
Yuck.
You know it tastes good.
It's never going to get better.
It's Sharon's least favorite part of the day.
I do this twice a day.
Immediately after the accident, her husband Randy and her sister-in-law Rhonda Williams cared for her.
So the first couple years of her being home was very, very stressful.
In August of 2016, Randy died by suicide. After that, her son James and his wife stepped in.
For 7 years straight, I took care of my mom at her house, so.
And how old were you when you started taking care of her?
26.
It wasn't fair to them. They were right at the point of their lives when you need that guidance. You need, you need your mom and dad there. You need them to guide you through life, and they didn't have that.
4 men pleaded either guilty or no contest to charges related to the rock throwing. Brett and Dylan Lair, Tyler Porter, and Kiefer McGee were all teenagers at the time. They were all sentenced to less than 5 years in prison.
I'm not like the vengeful style person, but there's a level of things you want somebody to understand your pain so you know what they like and grab from you, and words don't do that.
They literally destroyed my entire family and future in about 1 second.
After Sharon was hurt, the Budd family spent about 3.5 months in central Pennsylvania. People in our area provided the Budds with food, housing, prayers, and kindness. There was even a fundraiser called Sharon Budd Day.
I'll never see anything like it again. It was so touching and so overwhelming that people would care this much of what happened in their area.
Last year, Sharon had a setback in her recovery.
Her whole one side of her face swelled up, and she ended up having an infection in her eye socket.
Sharon is 62 now. She does not cook or drive and is not responsible for herself. I asked her family what her future holds. Her sister-in-law says it's hard to answer that.
It's hard to say because she is an adult, but it's just like having a child, and you know what I mean. And I always just try to keep her happy.
And Sharon is happy.
Nora's my little granddaughter, who I'm obsessed with.
Especially when her family is here.
James, get over here. I heard your voice. I'm like, hi, James.
Nikki Krize, Newswatch 16.